night, depending on the rotation of your location. Either which way, welcome to Hello Universe, the chat show hosted by Robert the Demon Warship and Ron Lennon as Clarence Melly and Lord Feature Actress as Dr. Mozzarella. On today's show, our guests are none other than the original Alexa and the returning guest, the big mustache himself, Sam the Man. And we also have Challenge the Doctor. All that and more on today's Hello Universe. Please put your hands together for the host of the show, none other than Clarence Melly. Hello there everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to the show. I am Clarence Melly, your host of the show. Unfortunately today, Clarence cannot be here. That's me. Dr. Mozzarella cannot be here because she's had other prior engagements. She's currently moving house at the wee moment, but she's also been allowed back into the doctor's surgery, so she's putting some hours in because she actually got her licence back. I mean, you know, she got us kicked off 2 shows and then she got shamed and all that for giving really bad advice. Since she's been on this show, she's got her doctor's licence back, so she's back in the surgery now. Hello there, Whitney. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hello everybody if you're just joining us. If you're also watching on YouTube as well, hello, how you doing? We have got some lovely guests joining us today. We have the fabulous original Alexa. She's going to be joining us in a little moment. And we have returning guests from one of our previous shows as well, Fleek Moustache himself, Sam. Hopefully he'll be here soon. He's not here at the moment. But like I said, Dr. Mozzarella is currently unavailable to be with us, but she has sent a wee couple of messages and I will play them once we've got our guests up. So folks, if you are watching and you do have any questions for our guests, feel free to pop them in the chat and we will try to answer them if we can. It can be serious, it can be silly, it can be whatever you want to. So, without further ado, folks, my first guest this week is Alexa. Hello there, darling. Are you ready to come up and join us there? Whitney, thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. Alexa, thank you for the 22. I'll just note that down because that's going in the competition. Romy told me to keep an eye on those, you know, you see, so I have to do that. Let's do this. This is going to be good. Okay, here we come. There we go. Hello, Alexa. How you doing, love?
You hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
There you go. That's a lot better. I can hear you now. Technical issues there. I'll have to have a word with my sound staff later.
It's probably that fake Alexa in production.
This is true. I remember the last time I was in production with her, she set off the funk of the world.
She was a little spicy.
We know why now.
She's a little spicy.
She was a little spicy. So how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. I mean, the wardrobe department had a malfunction, so that's why you don't got the hair and the makeup today. But other than that, I'm good.
It happens.
It happens more often than not to me, but oh well. I think the budget went out the window. Hello there, Whitney. Loz, you're here. I think Loz is still actually at work at the moment, so I don't know if she's going to be joining us, but she's going to be floating around. So, just in case you're unfamiliar with the show, and in case anyone is unfamiliar with yourself, I'll let you introduce yourself to the people first, and then we'll move on to the sections.
Sure.
Loz, thank you for the 50.
I'm so glad, by the way, that Dr. Mozzarella got her license back before I was a guest.
Oh, this is true. I mean, can you imagine the trouble she's going to cause now?
I know. So, brief introduction to me. My name is Alexa. I used to be on here as original Alexa, and I guess they thought I was original enough, so they let me just make it Alexa.
This is true.
I've been on the platform for a little over 2 years. I recently just got into streaming, like at the start of October, so I guess it's maybe like 9 months. So I try to stream 3 to 4 times a week. Probably my most popular and most consistent stream that I have is actually happening later this evening at like around 8:30 Eastern. I host a family supper. So I will cook dinner for myself and come on stream, and anybody that wants to join me is welcome. And we just chat and have a grand old time. And then throughout the week, I try to have a few chill streams, usually because I do work in corporate America. So my streams are usually at like 9 Eastern at night. And if you've ever been around on a Wednesday, it's starting to pick up some steam. I played this power washing game. And so, if you show up on Wednesdays, we have power washing Wednesdays. And then, then we have a couple chill streams. Sometimes I'll color. I like to open baseball cards. But vibes are always chill. So I'd love to have anybody.
We love a good chill vibe.
Love anybody that would like to stop by at any time.
Absolutely. And the doctor did say she can come up for 10 minutes, so I'm going to drag her up.
Good, because I got like
just so she can wind you up a
thing
bit
on my arm. Hello, Dr. Mozzarella.
The music's loud. I'm in the... Hello. Sorry, the music's loud. I'm in the bistro.
That's all right.
It's okay. So how are you, the doctor, today? The doctor? Where did I get the doctor from? So I've been watching too much Doctor Who recently, so I've got the doctor in my head. But don't worry, Doctor, you haven't missed anything yet. I haven't played your video. I've only just started. James, welcome to the chat. How are you? But there is something you did forget. We haven't got the challenges for this week done yet because you didn't speak to Alexa or Sam about that, so we might have to do those next week.
Yeah, the challenges, you'll have to redo them for next week.
Sounds good.
So unfortunately, no challenges this week.
I gave her a good one, so.
I know, I was looking forward to it as well.
I'm going away for 2 weeks, so I fly out tomorrow. Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be able to see you on Thursday as well.
Yeah. If not, we can rearrange it the week after.
This is true. So, whilst you are actually here, Doctor, did you want to... I know I'm going to be playing in the video later, but did you want to ask Alexa your question whilst you're here? Or do you want me to save it for the video? Oh, you can ask a different question, this is true. Hi, Amy, welcome.
Say that again?
What made you come to YouNow?
What made me come to YouNow?
Good question.
So I actually joined in March of 2020, like basically when the entire world shut down. It was really funny because I like to watch music videos on YouTube. But I've never actually watched The Voice, like the television show. But this random audition video popped up of this guy singing a B.B. King song. And so I was like, I'll check it out.
Love B.B. King.
And that person happened to be Michael Lee. And so I watched it and I was like, holy cow, this guy's like amazing. So I was like, I got to look him up and like find more of his music. And then I ended up like following him on Instagram. And then, so that was like, I don't know, end of February 2020. And then as everybody knows what happened within like a few weeks, like everything we got all shut into our homes. And so he posted something on his Instagram. He said, hey, I'm gonna hop onto this, platform called YouNow. I've lost all my gigs, so I'm gonna try this streaming thing. And so I'm like, all right. And so I signed up and I guess, he was actually on The Voice with, if you remember, Keith Peluso and Brent Morgan. And somebody recently told me, like, Lauren Llama Ding Dong was in that group, which I just recently learned. And so, yeah, he was on YouNow for like a day and then got partnered the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how fast it can happen.
It can happen that fast. And so, yeah, initially I would just only hop on when he was streaming. And then over time, like he got into like gaming and that kind of stuff. And then as, he was able to start getting gigs again, then obviously he doesn't stream as much anymore. At which point I started like branching out, like starting to watch other streams, and that's how I met all you fabulous folks.
I'm glad that we did meet you as well, because I mean, look at us now, we're right here with you. So.
I know.
And all the good stuff we did together as well, terrorizing people on their birthdays and planning world domination. But I know what you mean. A couple of years ago, when obviously everything shut down, there was a lot of people that didn't have gigs to go to anymore, so they all, there was a sudden influx of everybody starting, I can stream this instead, and I don't have to leave home to do it. I can still make money rather than, some business taking a cut from it. I can make the money myself. Some people did it just to get the experience and the, the recognition just for fun, but a lot of people decided to turn it into their main, their main income, I guess.
Yeah, because some of them just had to do it out of necessity. And I think that's, one reason why, YouNow took off as such of like a platform for artists and musicians and just had that very big music focus. Because a lot of those people, I'm thinking of like, Michael and Keith Peluso and Kim Maverick, that's what they do professionally. And they just lost all of that. So this, became a way to like fill the gap while they were trying to like figure things out.
Because there was a lot of people in the artist industry, like actors, singers, songwriters, things like that, and everything just literally shut down. There was even, I believe, there was like an artist guild that was also, they never actually took donations. It was a thing that like a lot of actors are involved with. It kind of goes along with like the Grammys as well, and like this was kind of a fund that they had for charities, but at the time, because everybody shut down, they started taking it in as funds, as donations for the actors as well, which was like, it completely got reversed on its head. Suddenly they were wanting to be supported themselves instead of supporting other people. So it was a really crazy time that we went through.
Yeah, I was very fortunate, just because, even though like I have a corporate job, like a lot of my friends ended up getting like furloughed and temporarily lost jobs, and I was very fortunate that like the business that I'm in, it was actually the reverse for us, and we now have like more business than we've ever had.
You got the influx of people.
So like nobody got laid off. We actually were like hiring people during the pandemic. So it's very fortunate. Oh, thank you, Nikki.
This is true, Whitney. Whitney's also an entertainer. She's, if anybody isn't sure, Whitney's a bio queen. And, a lot of the places where people would go to was obviously closed down because of the pandemic. And that's a lot of drag queens that I know as well. They all started focusing online instead of going to places. A lot of them have gone back to what they know. I suppose in a way you could say it's the difference between going from movies and then going to like the stage and stuff. But it was kind of like that in a way. Yeah. For a lot of people in the industry. Obviously there was more people as well that, different kinds of jobs that had to do similar things. But when you're used to being in the public eye, you suddenly, you've lost your audience because there's nowhere for them to go to. So, but it is good to just come along and chill out as well. Folks, if you're just joining us, this is Hello Universe. Here's our amazing first guest, the original Alexa, planning on world domination. I have with me, of course, the Doctor as well, who might not be able to stay that long because she's currently in work and she's flying out tomorrow. I'm not going to say where to, but if you know, you know. But if you have any questions for our guest, then please feel free to ask as well. And also myself too, if you have any questions.
I'm going to drop it.
Also, if you'd like...
I'm going to drop it. If you have any questions, I can type.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. We shall see you on the other side. I love you too.
Bye, Doctor.
Love you.
Absolutely.
I love you. You're amazing.
Love you too. Stay itchy.
But if anybody would like to be a guest on the show, if you have any shows or anything you'd like to promote, or if you just want to come on here for a wee bit of a chat and have any topics you would like to cover for people, then message either myself or the good Doctor there, and we will arrange for you to be on the show. I do believe next week we have Whitney, and we also may have someone else joining us. I can't remember off the top of my head because it's been one of those days. Oh. I looked at my clock, I was like, oh my god, it's 5 to 8, I best get ready. And here we are.
I know.
So, Alexa, one of the...
Oh, I was just going to say, I have terrible ADHD, so I was like, okay, I got to keep looking at the clock so I make sure I'm not late. And I cut it close because I got into doing something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be on in like 3 minutes.
True. And Nikki, no, I don't think your level's high enough. I think you might need a couple of zeros on that. But Nikki, you are of course welcome to guest with us as you want to. Hi George, hi Nisha, hi everybody joining us. So one of the things that we do on the show is we take a look at the week that we've just had, and then we take a look at the future as well. So how was your week that you've just had? Anything exciting happen? Anything that didn't go according to plan? Any kind of strange stories you might have about last week?
Last week was a roller coaster of emotions, I will say. It was Star Wars Day, which everybody, who doesn't love Star Wars Day, right? But
this is true. May the Force be with you.
and I don't know, maybe this makes me like a little morbid. My mom passed away 4 years ago on Star Wars Day, so for the anniversary of passing. Oh, thank you for the 50, Whitney. She I've talked about it on my streams before. Without in a lot of detail. Like she and I had a very strained relationship, but she was still my mom, so she's always got a special place in my heart. So oddly enough, I was more more emotional about it than usual. For those who don't know, like both of my parents have passed, so they both, I'm 39, so they passed at a relatively young age for me. May the fourth be gone. But I don't know, there's just something about it that it tickles me. And I think that's one of the reasons why I always remember, because it's like she died on Star Wars Day. So thank you, Whitney.
So it's one of those days that you couldn't suddenly forget about, because there's a reminder of that event. Yes. Constantly every year. I mean, some people, they do say with grievances that over time it can get easier. Some people say it doesn't, some people say it do, but then it's kind of like an anniversary in a sense, where you're like, oh wait, was it today or was it yesterday? But then you get to the point where it happens on a day where there's like an international event going on, and you just can't escape that.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Nikki. Take care. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, it's just, and to that point, sometimes especially like with my dad's passing day, I don't always remember on that exact day, but I think there's the universe or something in me just kind of stirs up where I just, because he passed away near Thanksgiving, so it was just that kind of year where it just gets you a little more sentimental. And I'm at a point where I don't necessarily get super sad about either one of them, but if there's anything I do get sad about, it's just not having parents at all anymore. There's just moments where it's oh my gosh, I really just wish I had one of them. But I'm very thankful that I'm very thankful that I've got strong support system in my life, and actually it's funny, I play weekly team trivia. I'm by far the youngest person on the team. I play with a bunch of 70-year-old retirees, and it is a blast. But they're just also an amazing support system for me. They're all around the age my parents would be. And so, if there's something I ever need, I could certainly go to them, and they've been great mentors and great, for giving advice
kind of
and how to handle things. So, and I mean, oh my gosh, so I went to trivia Thursday, which was Cinco de Mayo. They drank me under the table. They were drinking all these margaritas. Wow. I couldn't hang. I was like, what in the world? I was like, I gotta go to work the next day. I was like, is this what retired life's like? Because some people are like, don't old people go to bed at 10? I was like, not the ones I hang out with. They were nope. They're partiers. And I'm just like, shit, I gotta wake up.
Going to bed at 4 a.m. and getting up at 6 a.m.
Exactly.
It's
shit, I gotta wake up at 7 the next morning.
There's actually a UK comedy called Still Game. Well, it's actually a Scottish comedy. I don't know if you're aware of it. And basically it's around the lives of old age pensioners and what they're doing. And in every episode, at least once or twice, they're going down to the pub, and you're thinking, you can't put that much alcohol away, but they do. And this is the thing. I mean, it's it's not just about necessarily the alcohol in this case. It's also about still getting out and about in the community and still seeing people, because like you said, I mean, you have a support structure with those, but if you go to the opposite side of the scale, when you get towards that age, you could suddenly find yourself in a lonely situation. So I mean, it's kind of, it's the show is a comedy, but it also kind of depicts real things that go on in life as well.
The retired people tip really well. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, one of the things that I guess why they do that, and mind you, you can get some grumpy bastards as well, but one of the reasons why, I think one of the reasons why they do that is because they've been through that hardship and that life of things that they've had to do. So if they see someone that's actually doing their job to, you know, the best of their ability, and especially sometimes when people get walked all over, they will notice that and they'll say, oh, well, this person actually deserves, you know, the credit for that. Speaking of credit, where's Haley?
Yes. Get my insert credit sticker. I think I've still got it. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It actually came back as well because Tom did get rid of it, but it is brought back now. We couldn't let
Yeah, I heard there was a riot when he temporarily got rid of it.
There was. Actually, it was during my last show, not last night, I think on Friday night. And because I couldn't refresh, it wasn't letting me see the new one. So I was pressing the old one and a completely different one was going up. I was like, where's Haley's sticker gone? He's like, I've put it back on. I was like, well, it's not on my screen.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So, yes, you were telling us about things that happened during the week. Obviously, there's the being drunk under the table. Anything else that happened to you this week?
Yeah, so I guess looking forward to this next week. One big thing is I'm having a meeting with my boss at the end of the week. I'm going to be asking for a big raise, so cross your fingers.
Fingers crossed, legs crossed, toes crossed.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty optimistic, so it should go well. And then hoping, it has been like raining nonstop here. And although I see that it was supposed to hit like the 90s in Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that translates to Celsius, but it's going to be hot.
I have no clue.
Yeah. I love to hike and I just love being outdoors. So I was like, as long as it's not raining, I'm going to be so happy. So
I have actually seen a couple of, more than a couple of your social media pictures, and a lot of them are like hiking around and stuff. And I was just like, it's too cold for me. I'm not doing that. But
thank you so much, Whitney. And hi, Dan.
But also with the the week coming ahead as well, you did mention the shows that you do, but is there any particular shows that you want to like tell people about that they might be interested in to come along and join in?
Sure. I think the main one will be tonight, my Sunday family supper. I'm usually on by 8:30 Eastern. Yes. So I still got to figure
1:30 a.m. for the UK.
Yes. So if you're up in the UK and you're having a midnight snack, feel free to pop in. Adam, thank you for the 50. I still got to figure out what I'm gonna have for supper. But yeah, I may normally like a lot of times I stream in here. Someone came into my stream one day and they're like, "Why don't you stream at your dinner table like you should?" And I was like, "Oh. Yeah, maybe I should." So I did that for a few weeks, but right now it's like my table's covered with stuff. But I don't know. It's a beautiful day out. The only thing is it's windy, so I don't know if I'll be able to stream outside tonight. This coming week's my schedule's gonna be a little weird. Normally I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But I'll be on tonight and tomorrow. And then I actually have to go to the office to work on Wednesday. So stream's probably not gonna happen. And then Friday's questionable because I found out we got a family friend coming in town. So I don't know what the plan is there. But normally most weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But this coming week's it's a little wonky. So
So speaking about that, you mentioned before about, if you don't mind me asking this question as well, you mentioned with the ADHD, is it like super ADHD? So like you've got like the planned routine and then you get suddenly, oh, by the way, someone's coming on Friday. So how do you adapt to that? Is it?
Generally not well. If it's very like last minute, I need a lot of structure. I do have severe ADHD, so like I take medication for work, like at least while I'm working, and then I try not to take it on the weekends. And some weekends it's fine, And if I do keep like, a pretty strong structure, and I'm like, these are the things that I'm going to get done, and this is the order I'm going to do them in, like I do pretty good at like getting through at least most of it. One of the things which is very common with ADHD people is that they tend to think they can get more done than is reasonable. And then if they don't, then you beat yourself up for it. That's something I've had to work on like a lot. And I'm getting better at
to give yourself a break for doing what you can do. You know,
my therapist is be like, you should be like proud of like what you did get accomplished. And there are some days where I'm just like, and I was a little bit like that earlier. I was just kind of running around. It's like, okay, because I've like started doing my meal prepping, and then I like ran off to do something else. And then one thing I forgot to mention, like if you've been on any of my streams, I have a little wiener dog. Yeah, her name is Sloan, but I don't think most people know her name. She's just known as the Wiener, and we make a lot of wiener jokes on my stream. So yeah, she's been wanting to spend a lot of time outside today, and she's I think I just said she's 17. She's deaf. She's mostly blind, so she can't be outside by herself. Thank you for the 50, Adam, because we do have hawks in the area, so I don't want her to get snatched. Because she would have no idea what was going on. So it was just kind of a lot of back and forth. It's like, okay, like as long as the other dog's out there, I can leave her for a little bit. But she's like, okay, got to go check on Sloan, and then come back and then I was like folding some laundry, and then I was like, oh, I got to go check on my potatoes. It's just like doing laps around the house, like getting all these things. But other days, like
full circle and coming back again.
Other days I did pretty good at like keeping. Like yesterday I did pretty good. I actually went on like. I just walked because the trails were too muddy, but I went like on a 6-mile walk, and then I made it to the grocery, and then I came home and I like got my laundry done, and I like got part of the kitchen cleaned up. So, which was everything I wanted to get accomplished. So, some days work really well.
Full marks for yourself that day.
And then some days, are just awful. And it's just like me every 5 minutes looking at Instagram stories. And on those days I try like really hard not to beat myself up for when those days happen, and it just I just can't.
You deserve the break once now and then. You like push yourself too much, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't do this.
Yes, one thing my therapist has hammered into me is to always like show grace to myself. So, and I think that's like something everybody could work on and benefit from. Like if you're just having one of those days you can't get anything right, just
one of those days.
Just be like, okay, give yourself some grace and be like, tomorrow's a new day, and let's just try to pick it up then.
This is true, definitely. So with the hiking and the walking that you do, is that just something that is like a hobby, or is it also one of like a coping mechanism as well? Because I know a lot of people do like tend to go for walks when I mean everybody does it as well. It's not just an ADHD thing. Sometimes people go, okay, right, I'm going for a walk, I'm going to go calm down.
I think it's more it's mostly a hobby for me. I'm a very active person. I love working out, and then I just grew up in nature. The home I grew up in sat next to almost like 200 acres of woods. So that's literally where I just played all the time. So I think some of it's like a comfort thing. That's just what I grew up doing, was like, I was either outside in the woods or I was playing basketball. And those were like my two things that like, I was just outside all day long. And so I think that's just, I naturally just like love being outdoors. Like January and February are always absolutely miserable for me, and I think I always get into like a little depression because I'm just like, I just want it to be warm. I want to go outside. Like I want to just get out and like move. And it is like, I love, like yesterday I just went to a park, and it was like around a big lake, so it was very nice. But like I love going out into the woods and hiking and try to like to take some photos, and a little bit into photography. I've kind of gotten out of it a bit. But it's just something fun to do. But I also like to challenge myself as well. So like last year, my goal was there was like a specific trail I wanted to do that's like pretty tough. And it was 10 miles, 10-mile trail. And I finally did it last year. It was like my last hike of the fall. And so,
well done.
So my goal for this year is to do like a half marathon hike, which is 13.1. So that's what I'm gonna.
Good luck with that. So is that actually just like a self goal, or is it actually like an organized marathon that you're planning on joining?
This one is just a self. Yeah, this is just a self goal. So it was funny when I turned 30, almost 10 years ago. I decided I was.
Oh, don't remind me.
I decided I was going to run a half marathon. Mind you, I had never run before ever recreationally, but I trained. I spent the whole summer training, and it was like one of the hottest summers on record for Missouri. Like, I mean, I was out every Sunday doing my long runs, and it would be like 112 degrees. It was just insanely hot. And then I turned 30, and then like I think it was 2 weeks after my birthday was the half marathon. Like the morning of the half marathon, it was 34 degrees. It was like freezing, and I was like, I just trained in that hot ass summer, and now it's freezing.
To freeze my ass off.
But I did. I ran the whole thing. I was slow, but I ran the whole thing. I accomplished it, and I was like, all right, I'm retired. I was like, I'm one and done. Like never running a half marathon again. And now that I'm getting ready to turn,
I've done it. That's tick the box. Never doing it again.
Yeah. And now that I'm about to turn 40, I was like, should I? I'm like, no, I am never running a half marathon again. But it's like, but I will hike one. So I was like, I'll do that. Like,
you get that voice in the back of your head, I'm going to 40, midlife crisis, yes. What shall I set my goals of? And then you look back and you go, no, I'm not doing that.
Like, and the thing is, like, from like an exercise standpoint, like, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with running. I have like friends that like run tons of half marathons, like that's their hobby, like they do relays and all this crazy stuff, and that's great. But from like a heart health standpoint, it's not necessary to run. Like you can walk and get all sorts of health benefits just from walking at a moderate pace. And I've learned, even though like I enjoyed running when I like got into it and I did all that training, like I've, hiking is really where my love is. And you can like, oh my gosh, I went on this hike a couple weeks ago that I was not prepared for. And I mean, I was maxing out my heart rate. So, I mean, depending where you go, especially in Missouri, we have mountains here, but we have bluffs, which are really high spots. And I went on this one hike in like a very hilly part of Missouri, and I was thinking, because the one trail was like 3 miles and the other one was like 5.2 or something. And I was thinking I'd be able to knock them both out. No, I just did the little one, and I was dead afterwards because I was not prepared for how tough it was going to be. So I definitely got my exercise.
Because that's true. I mean, you get different trails where you look at them and you think, okay, so this is a 5 mile trail, I'll go for the short one. But then when you go for the short one, it's short for a reason because it's more difficult than the longer one.
Yes, yes. It did. This one had, the elevation went from, I think like 300 up to like 800 feet or something. It was like a pretty significant elevation increase. And, I did not really pay that much attention to that when I like started the trail.
It's like, I'm on a hike, I'm not going to rock climbing.
It was like the first time I'd been there, and it like there was like a little like inlet where you would go in, and then the trail was a loop. And so I just kind of did the loop, and then I realized, well, if I would have gone the other way, I would have been going mostly downhill instead of uphill. Now I know for next time.
Should have gone backwards.
Next time when you hit the loop, go left, don't go right.
That just reminded me of a scene, if anyone has ever watched Star Trek, by the way, there's a scene in Star Trek Voyager where Neelix is asked a question and he turns around and he says, if the road ahead of you splits in two, take the third path. Don't know why that popped in my head, but it did. Whitney is saying that you should go to Idaho because apparently there's lots of hiking trails there as well.
I would love to do that.
I think that's an invitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I would love to travel around and just hike places. Like I have not traveled a lot of the U.S. And that would be something like I would love to just do, just road trip or fly somewhere and just go explore.
Kind of reminds me of Forrest Gump, where one day he just sets out walking and he spends years just walking everywhere.
Well, my friends make me set up like Google location sharing because one, I hike by myself a lot, but two, I am notorious for not staying on the trail. I will like go off trail and explore all.
Too inquisitive of what's
stuff.
going on around you.
I have to set up GPS so somebody can like babysit me in case I get like lost. And it was like when I went on that trail a couple weeks ago, I went off trail because like I was reading the reviews and they were saying there was like this little waterfall that's not marked anywhere at the park, and I thought I had found it, so I was like kind of going off trail into a rock bed, and I ended up like slipping and falling down, and I slid like all the way down a creek. Like thankfully I was okay. Like it was just one of those things that happened in very like slow motion, and I was just like, oh, like I just got to roll with it, and I did, and I fell, and I like
your whole life flashes
right
before
down.
your eyes.
Like, it was so dumb because there was literally just like the tiniest trickle of water, and I actually have like really nice hiking shoes, and so I found a good rock, and I planted my foot like right in the middle. I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm just gonna like plant and hop, do like a one-step hop, and the second I shifted my weight, my foot just started going woo, and my leg like I started doing the splits, and I didn't have anywhere for my other foot to go. I was like, I just gotta fall, and so I did, and I just
gotta
and then
go
I kept
with it.
sliding. I was like, there's not that much water in this creek. How's this happening? Yeah,
How's this happening?
Thankfully, yeah. Like I was able, like, thankfully I didn't get hurt, and then I just sat there for a minute, and then I just laughed at myself for being stupid.
So, well, I was the one that went off the
you can
trail.
actually-
It's
you
my.
can kind of, if you see that dark spot on my arm, I had like rock rash like all up my arm from that. So.
Oh wow. So, if you could go anywhere on a hiking trip or just on a general trip, where would it be?
I would definitely, since Whitney mentioned Idaho, I would love to go to like Pacific Northwest. I know there's like I didn't even think about Idaho, but yeah, I'm sure that's beautiful. I know Oregon's beautiful. A lot of that Route 66, like a lot of the stuff around there is just like got some amazing, like they don't even look real like views. Some of my friends have done that trip, and the pictures they post are just like, it's just like that's in the U.S. Like it's just, it's just like I've never seen anything like it. So yeah, I definitely would like to do a lot of that.
There's a place where I went 2 years ago. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. It's like a Spanish island. It's called Gran Canaria. It's only like a little volcano island. And on the outside, it's like the typical touristy areas, the beach, and, there's hardly ever any rain. But then the more inland you get, it's like going through several different countries the deeper you get in. So, you're at like a beach resort, and then the next thing you're in like a rainforest somewhere, and it just suddenly changes, and you're like, wait, did I just get transported somewhere? What happened?
Yes.
So, it just suddenly changes. Hello there, Lindsay.
Yeah, this trail that I fell on, it was the same way. A lot of it was like just like rock bed, and then you were like in heavily like wooded areas, and then like when I got towards the end of the trail, I was like coming around, and there's like all these different creeks and stuff. Thank you for the 50, Lindsay. And then I kind of came around like this curve, and then there was just this bright green grassy area, like just right in the middle of the woods, and there was like a little pine tree there, and that's like all it was. And it was just so weird. It was like it felt very out of place, but it was like also like very pretty. It was just like all the sun, it was like little mini heaven in the woods. Like all the sun was just shining down in that spot with this grass.
That one spot. The only thing missing was a waterfall, just to capture the light and give you a rainbow.
I was like, that's where the secret waterfall should have been. It's very nice.
That's true. Oh, wow. So what would you say is one of your best hiking adventures that you've been on so far?
My best hiking adventures. And I am okay, Lindsay. Thank you. Like, it wasn't a hard fall. It was a very slow motion, like, okay, we're just doing this. Probably one of the coolest places I've been. It's down in like southern-ish Missouri. It's called the area is called Lake of the Ozarks. It's actually like a very big like party place in the summer. But if you go like just a little bit further south of that, there's actually
kind of like spring break.
Yeah, there's actually a huge.
Everybody descends on it.
It really is. Like if you got a boat, that's where you're at. So, and I do not have a boat, so that's not where I'm at during the summer.
No.
I said I'd make sure you're okay.
She's on land hiking.
That's basically what I did, Dan. I was like, all right, am I okay? Nothing's broken. Okay, now I'm gonna laugh at myself because I'm. So yeah, just south of the Lake of the Ozarks, there's actually a state park there, and there's castle ruins. Like there was a.
Castle ruins, they're really good.
Like a utility company or something. He ended up like dying in a car accident, but he was essentially building this amazing like mansion. And some like shortly after he died or something, it caught on fire. So just like what's left is still there. And same way, it's just that there's a bunch of it sits up on like a bluff, and then if you go like further down, because it overlooks the lake, and then if you go further down, there's actually like some natural springs, and then obviously you can hit up like part of the lake, and that was like one of the coolest places
really picturesque.
I've been to. And then there's just a lot of areas in Missouri that, especially where we're very fortunate. They just have like an amazing trail system. So there's
lots of different varieties to go to.
Yeah, so yeah, there's no shortage of things to do. I've been like, we've got like an app called All Trails, so I've been like poking on there, like trying to find new places to go. And then we also have, which a lot of if people are into cycling, and a lot of people will travel here to do this. It's part of there used to be the Missouri-Kansas train line, so it would run from St. Louis, which is where I live, all the way to Kansas City, which is essentially just all the way across the other side of the state. And I think it's like 285 miles, something thereabouts. But the whole, the train line's obviously not there anymore, but they built this trail, right along the way the rail line ran. So
it's like a pathway where the rail used to be.
Yeah, so they've got it, and it runs along the rivers, and some of it's kind of boring, but it's nice. There's a lot of little towns, so some people will, especially if they're doing it on bikes, will do it in 4 or 5 days, and then stop and camp along the way. And it's very, very nice.
Because 200 miles is going to be a lot to kind of doing one day, so you do a small segment of it and then rest somewhere in a little town that nobody knows exists, tucked in the middle of nowhere. And...
Exactly. Yeah, my friend's trying to convince me to hike the whole thing. He's like, it'll probably take you a good 11, 10 to 12 days. And I was like, I could not get off that much time from work for one. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, that might be like a bucket list goal. When I can't take that much time off, but I've done segments of it. I was like, maybe there's a way I could chunk it up to do it across week to week. So.
This is true. Small parts of it, and then go back to where you left off, and then carry on from there. But when your friends actually mentioned this to you, did they also realize that you're the kind of person that goes off the track as well?
No, I don't think he was aware of that part. So.
It's well, I'll do this 200 miles, but I'll probably end up 300 miles in that direction.
And that's what's so bad is because I know, especially on the Katy Trail, there are these little offshoot trails. And in fact, I was walking with my with my sister and her friend last Sunday, and we took a trailhead down to the Katy, and we're walking part of that. And when we were on our way back, I saw a trail going up into the woods, and I was like, "Oh, look!" And my sister's like, "Don't you dare!" She was like, "Do you want to go up in there and fall down somewhere?" I was like, "No, no." I was like, "I'm definitely coming back another weekend though, because I want to see where that goes."
So I'm coming back on my own this time, so you can't stop me from doing it.
I would say though, if it weren't for smartphones, I would probably not do that, because at least if I get lost, I generally know where I'm parked, so I can just navigate my way back. And I've done that before. I went to a town an hour and a half away to go hiking at a park there, and the trails were not well marked at all. And I was maybe 6 miles in, and I was just like, I don't know where this ends.
This trail vanished a mile ago.
I was like, I don't know where I'm at. I was like, I feel like I've done this loop. I was like, I'm not sure I know how to get out of here. And so I did. I was like, I had to like pull up Google Maps and figure out where I was parked and then just kind of navigate my way back.
Unfortunately, Tom, we cannot send help because Dr. Mozzarella's having the day off, so
she's busy tending to other patients right now.
This is true. Hopefully not getting herself fired again. But folks, if you have any questions for our amazing guest Alexa, feel free to pop them in the room. As we found out, she is an avid hiking person. It is a trail person, but I guess same thing. But are there any other hobbies that you do partake in when you get the chance, and what are they? Something that other people might also like to do, other than the hiking as well, of course.
So as I mentioned, I love playing trivia. So I do. That's my weekly social activity. I work from home full time now, so I don't get out of the house much anymore. That's like my one social activity. Like I commit myself to every week because like when I'm hiking and most of the time I'm by myself. So I was like, all right, I got to commit to being socializing with people in person once a week. So I do. I go play team trivia. Enjoy doing that very much. As I mentioned, I like working out, although most of my exercise these days is hiking. I love to cook. That's one thing like work from home has been like gotten me back into is I like to like cook a lot. I like trying like new recipes. Sunday's like my meal prep day. So after I get done here, I'm gonna actually throw some ribs on the grill. So
sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing steak tonight as well myself, so I mean, we're kind of almost
There
on a
you
similar
go.
level there. But yeah, we would definitely like to see in the Discord as well, if you any of the dishes and stuff you want to post on the Discord. But as well, don't forget, even though you're guesting today, you're more than welcome to guest again. And we do actually have a cookery section of the show as well. So if you want to maybe make a short video one day and come back and, this is what I did.
Oh yeah, maybe.
You're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to be better about, like posting my pictures and stuff in Discord. And like I'm starting to get back into Instagram a little bit. I took a break that was just going to be for like 30 days, and then that turned into 3 months, then 6, and then turned into like a year and a half. So I'm like getting back into it. One thing I've started doing, and it's gotten very like receptive. I've gotten really great feedback from it. Is I just do like I'm much better at doing like the Instagram stories than like actual posts, but like every day I do like a little positivity story and just kind of like throw like a little one-liner on there and slap on some music and tell everybody have a great day. And quite a few people tell me how much they love it.
Not a lot of people do that. Yeah. It's really, I know what you mean. I was trying to sort of like get around different social media, especially with like different shows coming up, and I kind of like a couple of years ago, I took like a break away from everything, and then when you come back, things have changed, and you're like, okay, how does this work? Suddenly you feel like you're a pensioner or something. It's like, what does this button do? You've got to get used to it. So the platform's not just posts anymore. You've got these stories and day events, and you're like, okay, well, which one do I post this to? And then suddenly people are saying to you, why haven't you posted anything? It's like, I posted something the other day. But that only lasted for 24 hours, so we can't see it.
And like Instagram, like the thing is now you don't even do like photo posts anymore. You're supposed to do reels. And I'm just like, oh God, no. I was like, I'm just going to keep posting my pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like just because I'm posting pictures, they're probably getting buried like way down in the algorithm because it's not a reel, but...
This is true. A lot of people are doing that now as well. Like there's a couple of people that I know that used to have like a high audience, but then when the format of the platform changed, suddenly theirs has been pushed down to the bottom because now there's like an influx of all of these different ones happening now. And I know that YouTube have been following suit in a kind of TikTok sort of way where they're now, rather than having like an hour-long video, they're having the shorts instead. So because I was planning on going back to I was planning on going back to YouTube with a couple of different videos off the platform, And when I looked at it, I was seeing all these short videos. And I'm thinking, like years ago, I used to do like maybe, say for example, a makeup video, but I would go like the hour long, like step by step all the way through. And then when I came back, it was like, okay, people might not have a big attention span, so we'll shrink it down to half an hour. And then it got 15 minutes, and now it's like, you look at it and it's like a 1 minute short video. Like, I can't do that. So it's also trying to balance kind of like the things that you do, but also on the platform as well, so that it would make sense. Like, I don't know, for a hike, for example, I mean, you know, it could be miles, but then trying to fit that entire hike into like a 1 minute video, it would be blinking past your eyes. Yeah.
Well, and to your point, it is like, now that I'm doing more of that, and I've done like some videos, like, you know, and you have to guess, because apparently, like on the story, like if you record it on a story, it doesn't tell you how long it is. So I'm like, okay, how long have I been holding this button while I've been walking? I know it like maxes you out at 60 seconds, I think, but now, like, I also realized too, it'll make it like, it doesn't break it into 15 seconds anymore. It'll actually just make it like one long story. So that was something I learned.
Yeah, this is true. It used to be like 15, 20 seconds, and then it would cut and go into the next one. But
if I had more time, that would be like things that I would like to get back more into, because I've always been interested in photography. And of course, now it's kind of funny because I have like a camel pack that I'll carry, and it's like a backpack, so I can carry my like some snacks and my car keys, and I actually have like a Canon DSLR that I normally throw in there. Yeah. But I'm at the point, like with smartphones, I've got like a Google Pixel 6, and the camera on that is just phenomenal. And it's just like, well, I don't even really need to bring like my camera anymore, because my phone does such a great job at taking pictures. But then I like take pictures, and then I don't do anything with them. I was like, I've got like a ton of pictures that I've taken from hikes over the years. So it's like, I really need to like edit these and like post them.
Edit them and actually put them away somewhere.
And then like when Nathan was doing his literally late show and we made those commercials, like I had a blast doing that. And I like getting into like editing and that kind of stuff. But there is like a time commitment to it. And like I know I rushed mine. I told him, I said, I wish I would have like had a little bit more time to edit this like the way I wanted it to. But you know, that's stuff like
Well, I remember when we were doing the video for Roxy's birthday, and then you know he came to us and said, by the way, I'm also doing this extra thing, and I was like, I'm in the middle of editing right now as we're speaking. I haven't got time. It's not going to happen.
I know. I felt so bad because he asked me about doing the Dancing Queen thing, but he asked me like on like that Friday afternoon, and I was just having a crazy day at work, and I was just like, I'm sorry, like I can't. I was like, I really would like to, but I was like, it is. And like the fact that he squeezes himself that tight to like get all of that stuff done. I'm sure he stayed up all night getting all that stuff edited.
He did. I mean, I believe on the day he actually sent me a message and said, look, you know, I might be asleep when it happens. Can I send you the video for you to play? I might be there. Give me a call. Yeah. And when he actually produced the video, he actually said to people that he'd been awake for like 4 days straight. So by that point, you know,
I could not do that.
No, I mean, I have done some crazy nights, you know, with editing and various things, and I've been like, oh my God, look, it's, you know, the next day again already. And people have been saying, good morning. I'm like, no, it's not yet. It's still nighttime. I haven't been to bed yet. Don't forget, folks, if you do have any questions for our amazing guest, you're more than welcome to ask them. And I guess it's up to Alexa whether she answers them or not. But one question I do have for you is, if anyone was to start off with hiking as a new hobby, what would your tips be for them for how to begin, and especially like safety as well?
Sure. I think main things are get you a good pair of shoes. Most shoes, whatever you buy, whether you're running or walking or hiking, are good for about like 250 miles, and then you should replace them. If you're planning to do like actual like trail hiking where you're out in the woods, I would actually Never use Converse. Yeah, only for deadlifting.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing Converse at the moment, but actually saying that, I went on a nature trail with a friend of mine, and there was a couple of like small hills and things, and a friend of mine just loves the same thing as you do and going off the beaten track and exploring other areas, and suddenly I got like halfway up this hill, and then, like you said, slow motion on the way back down because there was literally no grip.
Well, and that's the thing, like I've got one of the brands we have here is Columbia, and they're like a very like nature, like outdoor based brand, and so that's what kind of I love their hiking shoes, and so I actually just bought a new pair like right at the like end of fall. And so that's what I've been wearing. But like those will not stop you on a wet rock, like even if they're brand new. And so if you're doing anything that's like not paved or like a packed gravel where you're going to be running into like different terrains and tree roots and stuff, I definitely recommend getting some good hiking shoes. And like with my Columbia shoes, I just go on their outlet page and see what they have on clearance, because I don't really care what mine look like. I just want like a good pair. So like my newest pair I got for like $40. They were like 50%.
You want the quality rather than like the brand. You know, you just want something that's going to do its job. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It's like, I'm not looking for this fancy.
Yeah, I'm literally buying them to go walk in the dirt. So it's just like, they don't need to look fancy for me.
They don't need sequins on or anything like that, because it'll only come off anyway. So
if you decide you want to like work your way up into like some distance, hiking where you're getting into like higher mileage, or if you're doing things that are like of moderate like trails or difficulty, like getting like a small 2-liter camel pack to have your water in. And then it's nice too, because then you can like you throw your car keys or your phone or stuff in there, so you just got something all together. And then I would definitely recommend like building up your distance, starting like something little, and then work your way up. And I feel like I had one other tip. Oh, and always carry like a little first aid kit, whether it's like Band-Aids or like I keep little. So I buy like the special like little blister things too. So in the event, especially early on, if you're not used to it and you feel like a blister rubbing or something, you can just stop and take care of that to get you till you get back to your car.
One of the things that we've like. I mean, that's true. One of the things about like walking in general, as well as actually going on hikes, if you're wearing like the wrong shoes, for example, you will get blisters. So, you could find yourself like, I don't know, miles away, and you're suddenly like, oh my God, I've got to walk all the way back. And, you've got this blister just getting worse and worse. So.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like, because, a lot of trails are loops, but there's nothing worse than, where you're walking out and then you're like, oh gosh, I'm getting tired. And then you're like, well, now you're going out and back. So now you're like, oh, now I got to turn around and like go all the way back.
All the way.
And that's probably like one other thing I would mention. Like if you start hiking and you really enjoy it, and that's something like you really want to like get invested into, also buy some hiking socks. Like if you get like legit hiking socks, invest in that, because
just a little bit thicker to protect you more as well.
And they're good for like preventing blisters and that kind of stuff as well.
And as Official Fridge said there, always tell someone where you're going or where you plan to be. And like you said, carry your phone with you as well. It's a lot easier now than it was, but then you still get the blind spots as well. So, I mean, you could get in the middle of, I don't know, say Idaho, like Whitney said, and you can be like, okay, I'm stuck. Wait, no, my phone's not working. So then, there's always that.
Yes, make sure your phone's fully charged. That's one thing I always do, is I make sure my phone's at like full charge before I go. And probably my last tip is don't be a doofus like me and go off the trail.
Went you a little bit more experienced.
Yes. And sunblock.
And at the same time, sunblock definitely is. I mean, there's a lot of places where people go hiking in the winter, and they actually say like, wear sunblock as well, because they think it's cold, but at the same time you've got the reflection from the snow, and you can actually get sunburn that way. But along with the advice for people starting out, where would you say would be, for someone starting out, where would be a picturesque scene where they could go off the beat but not necessarily be in any kind of trouble?
I would say, like, one thing I tend to do If you're like going somewhere new, I do kind of look it up on Google Maps beforehand, so I got like have a rough idea. Or if you have like an app like All Trails or something where you can see the path, sometimes it'll show like where some of the offshoots are. So if you do decide to like kind of go off a trail, usually the only time I do is if it looks like there's like a path of some sort there that's maybe not part of like the park issued or trail issued path. But if I do that, like I always have a line of sight to like where the trail is, and like I'm not making a bunch of different turns. I'm usually going in a straight line. And then also, you can use.
So you always know that
yes,
it's there.
and then utilizing like the phone to like make my way back if need be.
Excellent, that sounds good. So, going back onto next week as well, is there anything other than yourself as well that you might recommend people to do either on the platform or outside? Obviously, we mentioned the hiking, but is it like other stuff as well that you might think that other people would find interesting? That you like to do?
I would say, for this coming week, like no matter what climate you're in, even if it's winter, as long as it's sunny, like definitely get outside. Like fresh air is good for you. Get you some vitamin D. Like if especially if you're like me, if you work from home, if you spend a lot of time indoors throughout the day, just like getting outside for a few minutes and just sitting in the sun or just breathing in some fresh air and just like sitting in it, like taking in the moment it can be a day changer. Like it's just kind of almost a little reset or a refresh.
That's very true. I mean, because a lot of people do, without knowing it, suffer from like the SAD syndrome, which is literally no sunlight, no vitamin D. And it can spiral into like a depression. And one of the cures is literally just to get outside and get a little bit of sun. And there was studies done into this recently, going back to like the snow environment that we was talking about. Then they were suggesting that in those kind of environments there isn't sunlight, or in like if it's overcast, but it's not just in the actual light itself, it's in the air as well. So people think, it's a dark day, it's not going to work, but it still does. You might not get it to the same level, but you'll get that little boost that you need.
Yeah. And I do, like, I love, especially like when, it's warm enough outside. Yeah, like I love just chilling outside at night. I don't know if anybody's like
forgetting the world exists.
Yeah. If you've been to any of my like Sunday streams, or actually one Friday night a few weeks ago, I actually streamed from my patio outside, and I have like I'm still working on it, but I've got like some lights that run across part of my backyard, and eventually I'm going to get like a little fire pit and some chairs to put under there. But I'm very
that sounds amazing.
Lucky that I'm far enough away from like any like city lights that I got like a pretty good view of like stars and stuff. So it's nice to just like,
you don't get all the light pollution that's kind of blocking
it. Exactly. And well, both of she, the wiener, she just likes to sleep most of the time, but my other dog Biscuit she also loves to be outdoors, and she'll just sit out on the patio like all night and just watch things in the yard. And so, a lot of times I'll just go out there and sit with her and just, sometimes, I'll take my laptop out and watch streams or, read a book or just, put something on my tablet to watch, and we'll just kind of hang out there, and it's very nice.
Just relax and unwind and
something I don't do enough. I don't do enough.
This is true. Well, we do live a kind of high-paced life now, especially in like metropolitan areas and things. We live like such a fast-paced life. We forget to take that break, and just you don't have to necessarily do anything in the break. Sometimes it's just better to do literally, like you said, just chill out and do absolutely nothing. Forget that everything exists. Just have something maybe in the background. And
I think that's maybe one of the reasons why I do like enjoy hiking so much, because that is my like couple of hours where I do just kind of like leave everything behind and just go out and enjoy nature and sometimes like a lot of times I'll listen to, like yesterday when I was walking in the park, I was listening to podcasts, but then like a few weeks ago when I went to the other place, and mind you, like part of the reason I wasn't listening to anything is because after I fell in the creek, my headphones no longer worked, but it ended up working. It ended up working out beautifully because you could hear just like all the water from the creeks running and the birds, and there weren't a whole lot of people out there, and it was just nice just to listen to like all of those sounds. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, because we do rely a lot. I mean, technology does make things a lot easier, but at the same time, we do become reliant on it. So, as you found in, I guess you would call an accident situation, that if you wasn't having your headphones, you get to listen to the nature around you, which can also help lower stress levels. Whereas, I don't know, even if, say, for example, you've got your headphones on, you're listening to something that you think chills you out, but at the same time, you're actually missing a lot of, because you like to explore the areas, but, you're missing a lot of what's actually going on around you because you're still in your own mind with the headphones. And one of the things that actually makes me giggle now with technology is 9 times out of 10, you would actually see people are, in their phones, in the headphones, and they walk straight across the road and they're not even looking, and suddenly it's the driver's fault because they wait when they're going. Oh. Right, I'm going to take a very quick short break. Loz, whilst you're here, if you want to chat between you, because I need to go to the little girl's room, but I will be right back, and then Sam will bring you up as well. But I will be right back, so if there's anything else you want to talk to with our guests in the chat, please feel free to ask Alexa any questions, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them for you.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Get to listen to nature while you're working. I can't wait to hear about that. I am going to have to hop off here shortly, just because I need to finish cooking my food for the week. I love you too, Laz. So what's everybody got planned for the week? Like, let's hear something. Like, let's hear like something good, even if you don't have plans, something good that's gonna like you're looking forward to this week. Even if it's just sleeping in, like, let's hear it. Work, 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 and more work. And you're going on your holiday. I'm so excited for you. Hello, Sam. Got 2 Sams in here. Yes. Tonight is the WWE pay-per-view, so you'll watch, then back to work tomorrow. Ooh. Is it like a special event? Like, I don't watch wrestling now, but my brother was like a big WWE, WWF fan when we were kids. I have a scar on my hand from where he body slammed me into the couch in our basement, and one of the springs popped out and stabbed me in my hand. Oddly enough, one of his best friends who would babysit with him is now the executive producer for TNA Wrestling. I think that's what it's called. Was it TNA Impact? So he's actually the producer for that.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just sharing a story about you.
I don't know much.
I don't either. I was just sharing a story about how this guy, it's my brother's best friend. The 2 of them used to babysit me when I was a kid, and they loved wrestling, and they body slammed me into a couch. That's then, like, the spring came out and like stabbed me in the hand. But now his friend produces for like a very large like wrestling show.
That just goes to show as well, though. I mean, sometimes, follow your passions, because it might end up in a job that, you like doing as well. Because a lot of people go into a job like to make money, but then it's a job that they don't like. But if you can follow your passion and turn that into a job, it doesn't feel so much like a job anymore. It feels like getting paid for doing what you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not always possible for everybody, but if you can do that, then it's a lot better. Leading on from that, though, I'm not too sure if you can talk about this because we had like a bit of a discussion off screen, but what is it that you currently do? I know you said you work at home at the moment. But...
Yeah. So I don't share like tons of details, but I am a marketing manager for a consulting firm, and we work in the healthcare space. So primarily our clients are in the pharmaceutical industry, but we do work with like hospitals and health systems and insurers. I'm like the only person in the company that's not client facing. So I basically do all the marketing that helps the clients find us.
Yeah. So you're the person in the background making sure everybody knows where to
Exactly.
go.
Exactly.
Excellent. So Sam, if you're ready, I think I'm going to bring you up because I do have a video from the doctor as well to play in a little while, and it does contain a question for both of you. So it would only be right to bring Sam up first to ask a question. Oh my God, Tom, I love that for you. But congratulations, by the way, Tom, on that. I'm not going to say anything on stream because that's for you to do, but congratulations anyway. Sam, let's bring you up. Sam's already been with us once before, so he should know how this works. Hello there, Sam. How are you?
Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night.
And all that jazz, yeah.
All that jazz. And we're eating from a cup again. I can't believe it.
Breakfast from a mug.
I love it.
This is my dedicated breakfast mug.
Wow. That actually leads me on to a question. Do any of you have habits that you think are normal but everybody else thinks is crazy? For example, Sam with the mug.
I like that. That's a good question. Hang on, let me just sit back on some coffee and contemplate.
Yeah.
Please don't drink anything when you read my message. Don't drink anything. Drink anything or think anything. I'm confused. Drink it. Right, okay. Oh, right, okay, here we go.
I mean, if I do have any weird habits or habits that people think are weird, like, they either don't know about them or they don't tell me that they think they're weird.
I put it on spoon for breakfast. Okay.
But similarly to Sam, I do make, like, if I eat a salad for, like, a meal, I always eat it in a mixing bowl because it's like the biggest bowl I have.
That actually makes good sense because you could fit a really good quantity into that too.
Exactly. I do. I throw like a ton of lettuce into a bowl, like a mixing bowl.
Christine, you do not want to know what he sent me. You don't.
I swear, the more lettuce, the better.
Yeah.
This is true. And the thing with lettuce as well is you can eat as much as you want and it's just literally cellulose and water, so you're not going to get fat from it. So, welcome back, Amy. How are you? So, Sam, you know how this works. Week behind, week ahead. Anything that people might want to know about you. Let's start with the week behind.
Week behind. Oh gosh. Yeah.
How was your week? Anything strange happen to you? Did it go as planned, or did any hiccups happen along the way?
Well, I mean, the only hiccup that I could think of is that I'm kind of acting senior for my team at the moment at work because my senior's off for her second time with COVID. So I'm kind of having a lot of extra responsibility at work.
Does it get the extra pay rise with it? No.
A lot of extra responsibility at work at the moment. Having to delegate the team. But I genuinely don't mind. Like, I'm usually in early most days anyway, so it kind of works out pretty alright. What else? I guess from this past week.
I'm with you on that one, Dan.
No, I don't think I can think of any other things from this past week as such. Not that I can recall.
I mean, since the last time we saw you on the show as well, if there's anything like, you know.
That's why I'm just trying to. I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to think back.
Trying to go back all the way. I've slept since then.
Rewind.
iPod Queen, actually, that is one thing that a lot of people do find strange, but a lot of people more than not actually do that, is like eating breakfast at night time and then having dessert before the main meal.
Amy, how could you? What? And you're not sharing? Wow.
Amy, share that. No, actually, I got to watch my weight now, but mine's like a seafood diet. I seafood and eat it.
I guess one thing that is different from this past week is that I have consumed a lot more coffee and energy drinks to try and keep myself going, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they've had no effect. Like I have
No effect whatsoever.
maybe like 3 to 4 coffees in a day, and then like energy drinks mixed in as well, and I'm just like.
Gets to a point where it's like, this isn't happening anymore. Where's the IV?
Yeah, I can't dedicate it into my veins. Oh man.
Folks, don't forget, if you do have any questions for our guests, feel free to ask them, or any comments to our guests, of course, so you can get their reactions like Tom got from me a moment ago. Don't send me things like that though. Any plans for this week as well, Sam, by the way, and shows, on YouNow and also outside of YouNow?
For this week? I can't say for this week directly. I do have...
It would only be nude if you shaved. Think about it, Tom. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
What's your favourite animal, turtle or flamingo? Definitely the turtle.
Actually going to post that question to Alexa as well, but once Sam's
finished...
Oh,
no, Alexa, what's your answer?
Yeah, I'd have to go.
Because I know Alexa likes a lot of
Yes,
nature. So.
I'm definitely an awkward turtle, so...
Ah, yeah.
Go for turtle.
Oh, I really can't expose Tom's message. What I'll do is I'll get Tom to actually message the person about it, because it is a joke. It's nothing serious, but I'm not going to say it on air just in case people do take offence to it.
That's unfair.
Because it wasn't offensive.
Yeah,
exactly. What message? I don't know what you're talking about. It was deleted. Nobody. It's one of those jokes that not a lot of people would potentially see the funny side of. I got it.
Sam, what's Sam on about? Sam, can you explain what you're talking about there? Because I'm trying to get deeper meaning.
Oh, Sam was saying dirty. Actually, let me try and switch my accent to colloquial English. Dirty love, that's what he was saying. Kim and Aggie, it's dirty.
I can understand. I can understand that.
Well, Amy, I'd have to say for Romy it would be the flamingo, because she's the flying handbag with a pink flamingo, you know what I mean?
Morning, Amy.
I mean, the only turtle we get is the turtle's head if you're busting to go to the dunny box. I'm sure Sam might get that.
No, I'm not going to get a lot of references you're throwing out right now.
Amy, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Alexa, you do, like you said, a lot of traveling in nature and hiking and stuff. Is there any particular animal other than the obviously turtle and flamingo that you would like to see, that you would, if you're on a trail, you see one and you would stop on purpose to,
Well, I'd probably be like scared out of my white squirrel. I like that idea. I was gonna say I'd probably be scared out of my pants, but like if I saw a bear, that might be cool. So we do have bears around here.
We don't have bears.
We had a bear like roaming my neighborhood last year. That was I never saw it, but that was a whole thing because it like got into someone's trash can and took their tortilla chips.
The only thing we have doing that in our trash cans around here is all the local snack kids, because we put stuff. Anyway, so.
Oh, lucky. Do you have white squirrels in your area? We have grey squirrels.
We have the grey ones and the red ones, and there's a whole thing about those killing. Is it the red ones that are killing the grey ones as a species, or the other way? I can never remember which way around that is.
The grey squirrels are kind of
don't forget, folks,
they don't hibernate.
Maybe they've secretly got their own like Russia versus Ukraine squirrel version or something like that. You never know.
It's possible. It's actually possible. The white squirrel is rare. It sounds like an albino kind of squirrel, because I don't think I've actually heard of one. It's okay, Amy, if you want to be on the show, send me a message or send a message to Loz, and we are accepting guests every week, so if you do want to guest on the show, then you're more than welcome to, but each show is specific guests each week for this particular show, but you are more than welcome to if you want to. Have you seen many bears in your lifetime? Going to me. I've seen a lot of bears in my lifetime, and I made a lot of money off those bears as well. But we're not going into that. I don't think you meant that kind of bear.
Yeah, I think I know where he's going with this.
A question from Amy: Cookie Monster or Big Bird?
I mean, if I have to choose between the two, I did love Big Bird as a child, but my favorite is Snuffleupagus.
I love Snuffleupagus. Definitely, I would have had to say that myself. I mean, we all know what happened to Elmo, so
Yes.
I mean, we're not going there. But
Would you say?
would you say a cardinal is a love?
Do you know what? Actually,
visiting you.
I understand the context of what he's saying there, because we say the same thing about butterflies.
I missed
here. Is that a butterfly is like a representation of like a past one that is coming to visit you as well. Like we say the same thing about monarch butterflies here.
Interesting. I have heard
True.
the thing about the cardinal.
I mean, in the UK, a lot of people tend to affiliate like the white dove and things like that for, you know, instances like that, I guess. Barney is a dinosaur in your
Are you sure it's in
imagination.
my imagination, or is it in your imagination, Amy?
That could be in your imagination, Matt. I mean, he's purple in my imagination, but, you know. That goes on to Rule 34, I think.
Don't forget Robin Bird's Rummy. I mean...
Robin birds and hummingbirds as well.
Did you know? Apparently, was it hummingbirds? No, it was. No, it's the woodpecker. Did you know that the woodpecker is the only bird that can fly backwards?
I believe the hummingbird
Oh,
can
sorry,
also
yes,
fly
and the
backwards because
hummingbird.
it
It's a
technically
hummingbird,
hovers, but yeah.
Like when they're when they're at like their surface, for example, they can also backtrack to like revert. Yeah. It's like that's kind of
This is
cool,
true.
because I was thinking about it recently when it was posed to me in the quiz, and I was like, I'm pretty sure like the woodpecker and whatnot can.
I
Yeah.
bet you do, Sam.
Pecker.
And a woodpecker as well. But it's true, though. I mean, you know, the hummingbirds can actually. I mean, there has been a lot of debate of whether they fly or hover, or I mean, because they are obviously flying, but people say they tend to hover more. Whereas long distances they're not so great at. Whereas like your average bird, in comparison, is more of a gliding
That's
kind
right.
of animal, and they therefore
I
can't.
have admired like watching seagulls in my free time and stuff like that here, in terms of just like how they manage to keep themselves hovered and whatnot within like the windy conditions as well. It's like,
Apparently, it was one of the Da Vinci's reason for the flying machine that he developed. Like the first one was kind of like the flapping approach, and then when he saw like the eagle that was swooping, that was what made him, you know, have a more rigid approach to his flying machine device. So that's quite interesting. And I mean, Alexa is like, you know, naturist, and she goes on things like that. And I suppose with the ADHD as well, would make you pay more attention to things. Is my experience with people with the similar kind of condition. But Christine was just asking there that what was your best and worst experience while traveling? Oh, she missed a little bit at the beginning because we kind of covered that, but
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've been, at least with my travels, I think I've been like very lucky to not have too many terrible experiences. I'm trying to think of like the most fun thing I've ever done. I would say something I did for the first time a few years ago that I really enjoyed was taking a road trip by myself.
Nice.
Actually, this was what I was like. This was several years ago when I was very like heavy into powerlifting. So I drove to Ohio to go to the, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger does a like fitness expo every year. And it was fun because like in being like in the fitness community on YouTube and Instagram and whatnot, I got to meet like a bunch of people that I had grown to know from them making YouTube videos, or people that I've met through Instagram. So that was fun. And I actually booked an Airbnb and stayed in a house while the people were still there. And that was very interesting, but they were so nice. They were so incredibly nice. And so it was a very fun experience. And then probably the worst experience was, I don't know, this was probably like 12 or 13 years ago. My sister took me to Chicago for my birthday. If you don't know, I'm a big Chicago Cubs fan. And so she took me up there for my birthday so I could go to Wrigley. And a couple of her friends came along, and one of her friends was an absolute nightmare. Like, she was planning everything. She forgot our tickets. That was a whole thing. She was kind of a big diva about a lot of stuff. She caused us, once she realized while she was trying to scramble to get us tickets, she caused a big scene with the security at Wrigley. That was interesting. And then also we went up there on I don't know if this is a nationwide thing, but in the Midwest, they have something called a mega bus. So you can book essentially bus tickets really cheap, and they'll take you from different cities. So we went on the mega bus from
kind of like the Greyhound.
Yeah, like a Greyhound. So they took us up from St. Louis up to Chicago, and they stopped halfway somewhere in Illinois, and to pick up some more people, and our bus driver was trying to loop around something that was the lot in an area that was not meant for a bus. And he literally smashed 3 cars in the parking lot and just kept going. I was looking out the window, and the people that were standing there were like, "Oh!"
So mean.
I saw it.
Glad
and
that's
I was
not my cab.
I don't even know if he knew that he hit these cars, but we just kept going, and I was like, "What just happened?"
It's so mean when it happens, though. I mean, especially seeing that from an outsider's perspective, knowing that they were a hit and run person, and they just carried on.
Yeah, I just saw the one car going sideways, and it smashed into the other car, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Wow.
And I was like, and thankfully, I was up on the front of the bus because it was the back of the bus that did it, and I was like, "What are the people in the back of the bus thinking right now?" It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. Also, I hate to be very rude, but I need to run in a few minutes so I can finish up some things
I have a
before my
question
stream.
before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how you were talking about being interested in the powerlifting and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Did you so you know how you get them them mad gains via powerlifting and stuff like that? The mad muscle.
Am I allowed to show my guns on stream? They're a little flabby these days, but
I believe so.
I don't want to get anybody banned.
I just don't think we're allowed this area or this area, but that one's all right. I think, I don't know. You now answer that question.
That's all right. That wasn't a good flex anyway.
Hello, Demon Slayer. I'm Roman, the Demon Worship from Roman Ascendant. How you doing?
My question to that was so you get the mad gains while doing powerlifting, but did you pick up any good guys along the way or anything like that?
I wish.
No. So
I don't know. It's very interesting. I think the people and especially people that do it competitively and do it as part of their career, they very much respect women that powerlift and are very encouraging of it. I've found a lot of men in general are not, and they're also very intimidated by it, or they think the common misperceptions about women and lifting, and that they'll turn into they'll get too bulky, they'll look too manly, which is not the case at all, because we're not genetically built that way. If you see, if you look at somebody at the Olympia or any of those national in the US, the national, or even some of the world bodybuilding competitions where there's these massive jacked women, they're 100% on steroids. They're doing unnatural things because women's bodies are not built that way. And to some extent, you'll
see them 2 months later and they're a stick thin model, and then in 2 months they've just suddenly built all this.
To some extent, some women can build some large muscles, but a lot of that's in the way you train too.
Yeah.
If you hear women saying they don't want to build muscle, they want to get toned. That's what it is. They're building muscle, and it naturally gives you a leaner, like toned look.
Speaking of a lean, toned person, going on kind of like a trans direction here, but Elliot Page, who recently came out as trans and actually has gone through the transition. If you don't know who Elliot Page is, it's the person who was in the Umbrella Academy and then playing female, but then transitioned to male. Apparently Umbrella Academy still want them to play the female role, which he is okay with. But he recently posted pictures after having the surgery done. But then he's also been working out to get a more, I wouldn't say manly body, but a kind of a trim figure, like you was just saying there. And the pictures was like, you know, it was just lean. It was just a little bit of a workout, more so, you know, what you're eating and things. But it was quite impressive as well. But like you were saying there, you know, people think that you're going to go too far, you're going to be like bodybuilding and stuff, and it's not. It's about looking after yourself and, you know, going for what is comfortable for you.
Yeah, I will say I think probably the, like, one thing about it is I did get a really nice butt from, like, all the squats and deadlifts. So I got voted as having the nicest ass in the office, so...
And a question for Christine, for both of you, before we lose you, Alexa, is who is the YouNower that you would watch the most? And she's got two more questions as well, but in case we lose you,
no, that's fine.
For me, my YouNowers that I watch the most would probably be definitely Roxy Toxic. Definitely Roxy Toxic. Probably me, one I watch daily as well at the moment is It's Me, Kayla Lynn. My friend Kayla on here. But yeah, that's only because I have like morning coffees and blah 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 with her like every day. So, what about you, Alexa?
For me, like I think as most of you know, I'm on the work and lurk crew, so I just sit and lurk in streams all day. Definitely in Roxy's. Probably the most.
Yeah.
I also like when I can catch it, when Jason ML is staying on schedule, I almost always miss his morning streams. But when he's not, I usually pop into his stream before I go to Roxy's. So love hanging, and Jason ML's, Caleb Graham. And then like afternoon streams, probably like Kim Maverick, like hanging out in her stream. And then in the evening, it's usually a mix, depending who's on.
Tom's like, insert credit here. Don't forget to make
Yes, well, that's the thing. There's so many streams that I like make the rounds in. A lot of times I'll just, and it's so funny because I'll probably spend like an hour lurking in Tom's stream, and then all of a sudden I'll give someone a sub, or I'll just like pop in and say something, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here." I've been chilling.
That's the thing as well. Like, if you one of the producers on the platform, you can't actually sneak in and lurk anywhere because it literally alerts people as soon as you go.
I know. I hate mine, so I like to stay incognito.
The same. Sometimes you just want to sit in the background and, like for example with Roxy, some of her streams you can just like chill out and carry on doing what you're doing, but like you've got it in the background, so, and you can just lurk around, and then, but you know, Roxy will call you out if she sees you. I posted one above for Sam. I guess it didn't show.
I didn't catch that one bit. I know you music a lot. If you could only listen to one band singer forever, who would you choose?
That reminds me, I still got to post the bloopers from the video with the full version of the Karma Chameleon, which I didn't do yet, but I will do that.
Don't worry, I regularly watch that back. Okay, so... Well, one of my favorite artists is Ariana Grande, but it's not saying I could probably listen to her. I don't know. I listen to...
That's actually a good focus question, because you think of who your favourite people are, but then you ask yourself, could I actually listen to them permanently? You know?
The funny thing about me as a person is, once I get hooked on a song, I tend to like listen to it on repeat, and for me as a person, it never gets old. Like, So at the moment, I'm hooked on a artist called Leah that Kayla's gotten me into. So I've been listening to a lot of her music at the moment, on kind of repeat over and over again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's the same question to Alexa as well, because like you're saying, when you're in trials and stuff, you listen to music and things. So who would be the one person that you could listen to like forever?
If I had to pick one, I would probably go. I think I'm probably gonna go like John Mayer, just because he's just got a different he's got a different mix of music.
Mm-hmm. Different vocal tone as well, because some music kind of like I suppose it would depend as well on what you're like doing for the day, or like if you got stuck in that life where you could only do that one thing. Some music can be motivational, some music can like relax you, so it's if you've got someone who can kind of do a range, then that would be good, because then you've got one for each part of the day. But it's just like Alex Ecke on here, he's got like a really powerful voice, but at the same time you can also have a soft song where you could relax and go to sleep to it, and then there's the other one's like wake up and do something. So but yeah, Alexa, thank you for joining us. If you need to go, you're more than welcome to vanish. I was going to play Loz's video, but what I'll do is I'll play Loz's video for you next week. You're more than welcome to come back on the second half after our first guest, and then we'll play the video as well, because she does have questions in there for the both of you. But if you need to go,
okay, I do need to hop off, so I'll definitely pop in next week.
Thank you for joining.
Do that. I had a great time.
It was great having you on here. You're more than welcome anytime.
And I was going to say, I totally forgot that Sam was on the show. I was trying to think of people to like ask to guest with me, but maybe that's why it stuck in my head, because I was like, oh, Sam would be great for this, and then it turned out like he was already on here. And to be fair, not that you're forgettable, Sam, but most of the time when I'm watching anything on a Sunday afternoon, since we were discussing having ADHD, I was like, I'm normally meal prepping, I'm cleaning the kitchen, I'm doing laundry, I'm like zooming around the house. So it's just like, it's not because you're forgettable, it's just because I'm not like full into the like glued in watching. So
so folks, don't forget Alexa is live at, was it 9 EST?
Yes,
today,
I normally do 8:30, but I'll probably be closer to 9 tonight. So, but I'll be on tonight around 9 Eastern. So.
Excellent. So if you feel like it, folks, please do go ahead and tune into Alexa's show later on this evening. Alexa, you are always more than welcome to join us again. Thank you for being here. It's been absolute scream.
Yes, I had a great time. So.
It's been excellent.
Right,
Thank
I'll
you.
catch you later.
Catch you soon. Thank you. So, folks, there you go. That was Alexa, and we now have Sam remaining with us. So if you have any questions, feel free to wing them in Sam's direction. Sam, of course, has been here with us before. I think he was on the opening show, I do believe.
I think from memory, I might have been on either that first or second one, yeah.
I think he was on the pilot before we changed the name, so technically
yes,
he hadn't been on this one, but he was on the, on the pilot one. Ellie, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I know Christine's always good with questions, so you can expect a lot from Christine with those, because she's always good
great.
with them.
That's great, yeah. If I had a kind of come bearing something content-wise that I was able to provide, I would have run with that, but I'm just like... I think considering I just woke up with a kind of a clean slate as well, so I'm just...
It's like my brain's not functioning yet. No questions, please. It's like I need at least 3 coffees. Although, as my cup says, not until I've drunk this.
So what's today's stream about then, Rummy?
Oh, a good question. Okay, so today's stream is called Hello Universe. It's where myself and Dr. Mozzarella, who currently isn't here at the moment, have a chat show with certain guests on. Everyone's welcome to guest, and we ask you about the week past, the week ahead, hobbies, things like that, and questions from the audience as well, based on around what our guests are doing. And it's also a promotion platform as well for any of our guests that have shows and things coming up that they want to promote as well. So it's kind of an all-round chat show, really, and Sam is a returning guest. So if you haven't met Sam, I know you've been here for a couple of minutes already, but reintroduce yourself just in case there's some
That's a
new
good
people in
point.
the room who are
So
watching.
just in case if anybody doesn't know me already, hello. My name is Sam. I reign from a wonderful country called New Zealand, which is like, love your face, Sam.
Not to be confused with
Love your
Australia.
face, Sam. It's a bit Sam currently. Lol, ask him stuff. Exactly. This is my show right now.
I'm just the host. He's the guest. He's the star.
So yes, I'm from New Zealand.
Two star rates and I'm TripAdvisor. No, sorry.
I do this full time, so I kind of like I'm on the platform around sort of working around my busy working schedule and whatnot. So yeah, you'll find me on here a lot of the time.
It can be hard to balance.
Are you
the
still
two.
singing? I mean, yeah, like my life is music. That's why would I not be?
Why would Sam not be performing and singing? That's what he does.
That's actually a good point too. Is that like I do still dabble into a lot of the open mic streams on here as well. So if you guys are kind of you like music, or you like singing, or you play a musical instrument, for example, do feel free to dabble into some of the likes of the open mic streams on the platform and really take advantage of those as well, because there is a really good amount and good number of them out there, kind of for people to enjoy. So like, yeah, if you tune into specific streamers and they kind of content-based streamers and they offer open mics, what does it say? Are you still in the cute little town you showed me, or have you? Oh no, I think I've more or less since moved, Ellie. I think I recall where you're talking about. That might have been my previous house, maybe. Unless, of course, are you talking about? Was it the place with the view, or are we talking about the one where like I'd always do the to and from work streams?
I know the last time I think that we was in a call together, I think Tom was sort of like admiring the view that's behind you in the window.
That... She was commenting on, so no, I've since moved on from that place. I've been here in this place since early January. So pretty much the circumstances came down to the government put like rental taxes on some of the rental properties that the landlords own. So the landlord of the property that I was staying at decided to sell the property in the end. So we kind of had to move on. So yeah, and then my flatmates that I was living with at the time found out about this place, and so they decided they were going to move in here. And then I kind of looked at it as well. I was happy, so I decided I was going to move in here as well. And now I'm the only one here out of the three of us that actually moved here originally, because now they've moved on as well. But yeah, so now, Ellie, instead of like you'll get your to and from work streams eventually once I get my phone side of things sorted out, because my struggle at the moment is I got myself a bigger phone data plan, but my phone data plan operates off sort of the 5G network that's available, but my phones are still like 3G, 4G, so I have to get like a new phone. I'm like, so when I get a new phone, you'll get your to and from work streams again.
Lots more streams.
Nonetheless, this is sort of an idea. Well, even though it's a crappy day, don't mind the crappy day. This is kind of the view that you get from the place here, and this is the deck out the back of the patio out the back of the property. But like you get a good overview of kind of the Hutt Valley. So this is like lower Hutt area here, and you have like Eastbourne over here. There's the like Wainuiomata Hill. So I used to live over here at one stage as well. So like that's kind of the hill leading over to Wainuiomata over there. You got Petone over this way. You got the Wellington Harbour over this way.
Is that like a river running through there, or is that like
these are more the hill suburbs over here. So you've got what do you got? So I'm in like Muckracky here, so you've got like Normandale, Kelson, Belmont, kind of all your hill-based suburbs over here. So as I say, everything's kind of there. I thought that was
You've got a good mix of things going on there. You've got like the hills in one side and then like
in the distance, just then at a crane, and I thought it was one of those like wind needles, but I realised that wasn't a wind needle. It's actually a crane. My eyes are playing tricks.
That's the thing, like your eyes can play tricks on you. It's like, is that net? No, it's not.
We have a wind needle in town, like by the Wellington Airport. When you sort of come out onto one of the main highways, there is a wind needle there. So I may be able to stay for longer because I'm probably actually going to source alternate transport today because of this crappy weather. I really can't be bothered walking out into this, so I'm just probably going to Uber to work in the end. I don't like horrible weather days like this.
No. Mama said there'll be days like this.
Ain't that the truth?
This is true.
Thank you for coming. I'll fan you guys back, by the way. Here, let me just scroll back through and check.
Please do, folks. If you haven't found my guests up already, please definitely fan them up and share the love as well. If you want to send any likes, please send them in their direction, because I'm just a host. These are the stars of the show, so please send them in their direction.
To see how light it is when it's pitch black here. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, yeah, I texted my work colleague. I'm not even at work. I texted my flatmate. I think who's currently at work. I didn't even realise she was like got back into working from her workplace in town. I thought she was still working from home. So like, I texted her thinking that she was still home. I'm like, can I borrow your car to drive to work today? Because I really don't want to wander through this crappy weather. And I didn't realise she'd already like left. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's okay.
We did have another question from Ellie as well. It was a random question, but she's asking, what is your favourite flavour of ice cream?
So, my favourite flavour of ice cream, nobody outside New Zealand's probably going to know what the heck this is, because I feel like this isn't like a branded ice cream outside of New Zealand, but there is an ice cream flavour here called Goody Goody Gumdrops, which is basically like lime ice cream with like little gumdrop lollies inside it.
Oh, that sounds
so
amazing.
Good.
I want some of that. My favourite ice cream at the moment is the one that Ellie's going to make for me, okay?
I can appreciate.
Good question, actually.
I can appreciate that. That was a good answer. Wait. What's that one meme some families use? Good answer.
Everybody knows about the bird. Yeah. What time is it currently for you?
For me, it is currently. I think if I've got this time correctly, because I got like two different times from either phone. It's either like 8:54 or 8:55, so it's like just before 9 a.m.
Elias, we do actually have guests on the show, but this particular show is specific guests each week. I do other shows where people are allowed to guest, like open mics and things like that, but this one is specific. So if you do want to be on this particular show, then message myself or Loz on Discord, and then we will arrange for you to be a guest. If you want my Discord link, it is just above in my profile.
It's almost dinner time for iPod Queen.
This is true. I'm actually about to go and have steak as well afterwards, so I'm looking forward to that.
How do you like your steak?
Oh, rare. Absolutely. Make sure, just, walk past the grill and show it to it on your way past. I mean, make sure it's still moving. Wasn't that in The Simpsons where it was like a cow walked across and it just sort of like, cut itself and went, there you go, have that.
Okay, what did Ellie say? It's 9:54 p.m. here and I got to be up at 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, Ellie. Please make sure you get at least some sleep in there.
Definitely get some rest soon. And Ellie does work a lot of hours
Yeah.
as well, and iPod Queen, same for you. Definitely make sure you get a lot of rest as well. Hello there,
Super
Casey
Sam.
Moistman. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Thank you for the likes.
Hello there.
And Elias, don't worry about it. People do ask that question a lot, whether they can guest. It is this show is a specific guest show. You're more than welcome to ask to
I
be on
can't
the show.
believe Alexa forgot
But I do open mics on Wednesdays as well. Emily, hello
I'm
there.
just
Welcome
amazed
to the
Alexa
stream. I
managed
do
to forget
recognise
about
that
me,
name
even though
from
she
somewhere.
was the one that asked me if I could be a guest on the show. Still,
I mean, imagine
it still
that.
stuffs me.
Oh, good question,
Thank you
Sam.
so much.
Do you like cheesecake?
For becoming a fan. Do I like cheesecake? Ooh, I do. I mean, I'm actually a very big fan of passion fruit cheesecake.
Ooh. Literally, just as she was
I
asking the
love it.
question,
I-
what's your
I
favourite
knew
ones?
it was coming.
Great minds there.
I saw it coming. It was like a deer in the
dear.
headlights, and I was like,
Literally. It's head on.
Yeah.
You met it before it got there.
absolutely. Oh, goodness.
You definitely had to ask that question, Ellie. We are going to wrap up soon, though, so if there's anything that, Sam, you would like to tell people about, any shows that you've got coming up, or anything that you'd just like to pass on advice from yourself, anything like that, you're more than welcome.
Well, I'm not quite content-based streaming at the moment, so not really something to kind of look forward to for me personally. I guess thought process-wise, yesterday I was thinking maybe I could try and stream a lot more if I'm feeling up to it at the end of the day, try and invest into streaming a bit more and whatnot, kind of working around my working hours. So I don't know, I'm kind of dabbling on the idea of whether I kind of wanted to become a more active streamer and whatnot on the platform or whatnot, and how that would look. But yeah, as I say, I'm just dabbling on the idea at this stage.
This is true. It's just balancing the time you have as well with work
that's
and
the
that,
thing,
you know.
because I can't set to a time either, so it'll just be working around my schedule, because my working schedule is pretty crazy. Hello, Emily Corpsbride, how are you? But I guess food for thought for, say, the week ahead is
Not too far away,
I just
Ellie.
realised I'm cutting my head out. Hang on, I'm just going to crop this. I guess food for thought for the week ahead is never let anybody make you feel less than you're worth. You excuse me.
The camera's like, no, I don't want that bit.
That's enough of that. You just gotta.
I wonder if the camera's actually doing the old stage trick where you get the hook and it's like, okay, it's time for you to come on. Sorry, go ahead, please continue.
So I think my food for thought would be just be the best you that you can be. Never let anybody feel less than your worth, because everybody is. The camera says no, I don't want that view. Exactly. Everybody is wonderful and beautiful in their own way. So just keep striving to be the best person that you can be. It's like me, if you wake up with a fleek mustache every day, somehow that empowers you. So
You've
find
done something
to,
right,
empower yourself to drive for greatness each day. Even if it's that little small thing, just something that pushes you to get up and go and get at life. Or like me, you live life as positively as you can. You block out all the haters. People gonna hate in life, but it's how you want to live life that's important at the end of the day. It's
You can't please
remembering
everybody
not to
all the time,
focus on
and
the people that are going to be the naysayers of life. And
that's a good point. Dan actually haters are motivators.
Absolutely. And they can be a good drive, more of a drive as well. To be honest, you could go, okay, I'm going to overcome that sort of hurdle there, and I'm going to keep pushing on. So.
This is true. I mean, you know, there's two directions with that. You can either let it, take it to heart with all of the hate that people can give you, or you can say, well, you know, you're still looking at me and you're still talking about me, so guess what? You're actually the one with the issue, so I'm just going to carry on being me. You know? It's just like the old saying, like, no news is bad news, but bad news is good news. So, I mean, you know, you get the haters, but at the same time, technically, they're still wasting the time with you when you're just getting on with your life. So, you know, always be the best version of you.
Absolutely. So, I mean, like, yeah, just live life as positively as you can. I know, like, it is a struggle for people at times, but, like, just trying to, as I say, find something that keeps yourself going, that motivates you. Like T Swift says, haters gonna hate, shake it up, shake it up. Exactly. Like, even if it's music, for example, some people like feel empowered when they listen to music. Music can be a very good uplifting thing at times. Like, if you need to plug in those headphones and blast that music to like empower you, and do that, you know.
This is true.
It's like me, music is like life for me.
Lifts you up, it's motivational, but it can also have the opposite effect as well. And Ellie just said there, you know, unless someone's perfect, then don't come to me with your issues, love. But I mean, you know, that goes on to whose definition of perfect. It's like, you know, the definition of normal. Like, oh, you're not normal. It's like, well, you know, where's the definition of normal? So
yeah.
If it's good for you, keep doing it.
There's many times before till someone is perfect, they can just I sleep with full bass music when I'm asleep. Hey, that's what's up. Like,
I've been normal. Me too.
I mean, like I am the way I sleep as well, because my bed is a very like, I've got it like a California King. I think it's right. No. A Super King. That's the word I was looking for. So it's quite a wide bed and stuff like that. So I have like my two pillows set up, and then like the rest of my bed is pluggies basically. But
lots of room to spot.
Like I'll sleep on like one pillow, and then my phone's just charge on the pillow next to me, kind of thing. So I'll either like have my Discord running, so I've got people to like chat to until I fall asleep. For example, they'll probably normally hear me snoring, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, he's asleep, sweet." Or
just serve a deaf and him would be fine.
Or like just playing music while I sleep. Example. Or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll play music until I feel like sleeping, and then I'll just turn it off and then fall asleep, kind of thing. Yeah. So
this is true. I mean, an ex of mine actually used to like watch weird TV programs to go to sleep because he hated, like, I know it sounds stupid, but hated the sound of silence, because he was one of those people that, like, you can ruminate too much in your own mind, so he had to have something in the background going on before, But folks, just while Sam's gone away for a second, if you do want to be a guest on the show, then you're more than welcome to send myself a message via any of my social media. And of course, if you see the name Loz in the room, she's the co-host. She plays Dr. Mozzarella. So message either myself or Loz, and we will arrange for you to be a guest on the show. Next week, though, we have Whitney, and I also believe there's another guest, but I can't remember who it is, but I will keep you updated on the Discord group. Welcome back, Sam. Who knows Dan could show up? This is true.
Ellie.
Oh, good night, Ellie. Love you.
You're going to have an amazing day, or amazing... Wait, hang on a second. How many hours is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No.
That's an 18-hour
shift.
shift.
That's 15 hours. Oh, my life. Too bloody many.
This is true.
Oh, no.
I couldn't do that, so good luck to you.
Okay, so if there's something out.
This is true, Ellie. The joys of the NHS. Underpaid and overstaffed. No, hang on, which way? I got that saying the wrong way around.
I feel that. I mean, like my Australian friend Josie on here, she gets asked like so much because of, I feel like, the fact that they're understaffed and whatnot to do like overtime and stuff like that. And I end up hearing about it. I'm just like, that's crazy, man.
This is true. What am I trying to write here? Red tags. That's what I was doing. Sorry. I'm like, I was writing what I was saying to you instead. So, so folks, after this show, we are going to be raiding the amazing Tom because he's currently live as well. Like I said, if you want to be a guest on the show, then feel free to message me via either of the social medias. Don't forget to fan up my guest as well, so that when he is live, you can get to see the shows he's doing. And don't forget to fan up all of my guests. And of course, fan up everybody in the list as well, because if you haven't, then you're doing YouNow wrong.
Thanks for coming to play.
I'm confused. What was that?
Dan, I was going to say, Dan, I'm already a fan of you, but I was a fan of you on my other account, so that's fine. No, you're good, Dan. It's not your fault. That was because this is a new account. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're just about to go and raid Tom.
Actually, I am in the sense of, like, I guess being proud. I'm actually really happy in terms of how far this account is progressing up from when I started as well. Like, I'm already on, like, level 50, so I've got to be happy about that. Thank you for coming.
As long as you keep it this time.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I don't think I'm going to dabble into deactivating any accounts.
Yeah, if we end up talking about those, suddenly it goes bye-bye again.
Okay, so moving right along.
But Sam, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a lovely day at work. Like you were saying to Ellie, you are going to have an amazing day. Ignore the weather.
Likeness of my line of work, looking at this weather right now, I doubt I'd probably be going out on road while this weather's in play because it's that terrible.
This is true. Yep. So fingers crossed.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Even though Alex forgot about me.
No problem at all. I know. How could she forget?
It's okay.
She was actually late to the show and she was panicking about it, and I kind of like, it was like 5 minutes until I was due to go live, and I was talking to Oxygen and Ida about a new show coming up tomorrow, and I was like, oh my god, I'm on in 5 minutes. So I messaged Alexa. I was like, are you ready? She was like, well, I was just running around like a blue ass fly, but yes, I'm ready.
No, I recalled that she asked me, but at the same time I had kind of forgotten because I'd done my normal thing of like just scanning to see who was live. I was like, oh, Romney's live, that's right. I got after him. Okay, there we go.
So yeah, I'm supposed to be there. But you know, you're always welcome back anytime, absolutely. And I hope to see you if you're available during the open mic as well, because you're always a star when you're on there. So more than welcome in any shows.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So I'm going to drop you back down.
Oh, your audio has gone.
Okay,
there we
try
go.
again.
Now you're good.
There we go. Now I'm back. So I'm going to yeet you back into the audience, and then I'm just going to wrap up here. So
good.
Thank you very much for being here.
So much.
And Alexa as well. Thank you to Alexa. I will see you soon. My finger was literally on the button. I was like, wait, he's not fit. Too late. Gone. Sorry about that, Sam. So next week we will have Sam and Alexa briefly here, because we did have a video from our resident Dr. Mozzarella that I didn't manage to show tonight, but we will get them done next week. But next week's guest is definitely going to be Whitney as well. She's a bio queen, and I do believe we do have some other queens on next week as well, because we're trying to make it like a screen full of queens. But speaking of a screen full of queens, join me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. EST, when we're having the so far postponed, starting tomorrow, Monday Makeup Mayhem, where myself, Ida and Oxygen, then those two are going to be my co-hosts. We'll be doing different makeup looks every day, from a simple makeup look to full drag makeup looks, and we're going to be having questions from the audience. We're going to be giving tips and advice, and we're going to also have a guest with us each week as well. So it's going to be a full screen of people. All of these videos will be full of people. If you want to be a guest on the makeup show, if you're new to makeup, or if you're, really excellent makeup artist, if you want to showcase your talent regarding that, then you're more than welcome. Same thing, message me via one of my social medias or join my Discord, and we will be more than happy to have you as a guest on the show. But it is launching tomorrow with myself, Ida and Oxygen by Drag Daughter as well. And we're just going to be doing a simple basic look tomorrow with basic tips and techniques. So I hope to see you all there tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. EST. Once again, thank you to my guests, Alexa and Sam. If you haven't found them up, please do so, and look out for those shows coming up. Alexa does have a show at 9 p.m. EST tonight, so hope you will all tune in to see her. But right now, we are going to go and raid the amazing Tom, the witty wizard himself. And the only thing left for me to say now is dismissed. That's the Clorraine Smelly expression for thank you all for being here. I will catch you next week. Bye, everybody.